One, really work harder on the links between science and business. My sense is that a lot of money and time goes into research, and in Australia we've got a fairly large public sector research agenda, but I just don't see the stuff getting out. And I also think that business knows the problems it's got, but doesn't know what science or technology can use to solve them. So I think in terms of making those links, starting to look at what science have we got, how can it be applied, and making that transparent and available to business would be a huge way of Australian business being able to adopt new technology as well as apply the science that we're spending so much money to create.
Having some dedicated federal funding to funding innovations for those entrepreneurs that are under 30, encouraging the younger generation to come through and having that backing.
Get the immigration matter on the public debate, because unless you seriously address immigration in this country, which tends to be a political no-no, there's no way you will really overcome the problems associated with an ageing population.
Started out talking about government and funding and tax, but it came back to education at the end, which is really the most basic building block for prosperity and growth. So if Australia is not competitive in terms of the knowledge of our children, then we will not be competitive.
And build the first nuclear reactor by 2020. That would create a whole new industry, both in terms of high-tech nuclear power, but also the various applications of nuclear energy to medicine, to business, etc. That seems to me to be an almost easy decision, given that when we travel around the world we see now dozens of countries that have gone down that path. We see the benefits of clean nuclear energy and also the appeal of the high-tech nature of such an industry.
We have China, which has an enormous appetite for technology, but doesn't have the same capacity to innovate that we have. And so I think that there is a phenomenal opportunity for Australia to identify a mechanism to develop that relationship further and therefore to support the innovation in our country.
I would tell them not to forget Africa, because in the summit you find all the influential leaders in government and business, young and old people, professionals, bureaucrats. I believe that the future is in Africa, because that is the only part of the world which has not been exploited for economic gains.
We're very good at coming up with ideas, but we don't hang on to them, we lose them. So we should be the kings of solar power, but our lead scientist in commercialisation has gone to China and is one of the biggest businesses there. So I think we're good at coming up with the ideas. We're not good at keeping them and turning them into revenue for Australia.
Position in the world, the concept of a brand reputation, it doesn't just happen. Australia needs a brand council that brings together government marketing agencies across trade, tourism, education, food, you name it, that goes into public diplomacy. The way in which Obama's been the single greatest rebranding of a nation. We've got a bloke now who speaks Mandarin, who said sorry, who signed Kyoto, who was an internationalist, diplomat by nature. Let's get back out to the world and enhance that reputation in Australia. Sell more grog, sell more tourism, sell more spots at uni, get a seat on the UN, win the World Cup. The whole concept of public diplomacy and brand marketing together, but it won't happen by accident.
To send a very strong message that CSIRO or whatever chosen body will impersonate a beacon of research and ideas in Australia, and every time people refer to Australia, Australia will be known for. They will be known for the place where people are smart.